Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode we got ourselves a new combo Tokyo Expressway 600 builds using the Ferrari 330 P4 for our first build, and after I'll show you guys the main guide for that car, we're going to switch gears and do another build which actually was a request build from GT Planet using the Nissan Silva S15, the roll card version at Tokyo Expressway 600 as well. So I'll be showcasing both cars, the parts you both need for both the tuning shop and for car customization for both cars, and hopefully by the end of the day these two cars will help you out if you're looking for your first one at Tokyo Expressway 600, and if not, I would suggest you save those cars and just use them for the Mall 700 because these cars are pretty fast and are really good. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So starting off with the Ferrari, it's going to be at the Lexus car dealership, and unfortunately, as you can see by the price tag, it's going to cost you 20 million credits. It's one of those few cars in the game that actually does reach that max limit for credits. So if you want this car to your collections, you can, but if you want to drive it for this race, you have to have a lot of money before you grab this car. After you grab it, we're going to go straight to the tuning shop. Sport tires is what we'll be using with power restrictor, ballast, full control computer with custom LSD, custom manual transmission, and increased bi-rigidity, and that's going to be all the parts you need for this Ferrari. For our tuning list, here it is right here. Sport tires with the custom suspension. If you want to go ahead and just pause the episode, copy the numbers you see on the screen for this first page, which is pretty crucial. I would recommend doing that. And then for the other part of the list, all you see here is the increased bi-rigidity that's been installed, and that's literally it for the car. So as we get started with this race, given that this car is in fact the oldest car in this race, and given it's a late 60s race car, this car is actually felt pretty smooth, and that was actually pretty quick in this race. I was actually a little bit surprised. Another thing I want to quickly add to for two things is, one, the AI is set to hard mode, and then two, this particular run I did for both this run and then for the Silva, I did it with a PS5 controller, just to go ahead and throw that out there. For this race, as you guys can see, this car has a lot of fuel in its tank, so it is possible that if you decide to run this build, let's say if you run maybe fuel map 3, map 4, you probably could possibly make this run without making a pit stop. But for my run, unfortunately, we actually had to make a pit stop later on since we were racing it on fuel map 1. But as you can see with the car is going to be a little bit on the loose side, especially sliding from side to side as well, so just keep that in mind whenever you run this race. Especially a little bit on the rear of the car, it gets a little bit loose too. But trust me, I would rather have a car that's slightly loose from the rear or from the sides than having a car that's extremely understeering. 9 times out of 10, like, no questions. But for our run, you can see we're actually catching up to these guys in front of us. We're going to try to make a move on the GTR if it's possible. We're going to get close to it as it gets a little bit tight right there. We're going to try to make a room. We actually get ourselves a little bit of a drift, and after that drift save, we actually go get ourselves a nice run on the GTR. As we head down to the hill, we're going to grab P4. We're going to brake right once we see that flashing red square. As you can see, both the RX-7 and the Supra, as you can see, the Supra is way out there out of the groove. It's going to come right back, and we're going to smack right at the side of the Supra, but thankfully we did not obtain any damage from that. We're going to keep going. We're going to go ahead and get a nice launch from the Supra, get ourselves P3, and that's going to be where we're going to be at the end of the first lap. So despite getting held up a little bit right there at that first lap, it's not going to be too bad. Plus we got ourselves a little bit of a slipstream from the RX-7. We're going to get P3, but as soon as we get to the next lap, we're going to move to P2, and from that point on, we're going to then to go for the hunt and try to track down the race there, which we actually were able to do on lap 3. As we start lap 3, we got ourselves a good set of corners. We're trying to make a rim on the NSX. We're going to make a vantage over this pass right here, send it over this overpass, and get ourselves the race lead. And from that point on, we basically did not look back and just ran away with it. Fast forward now to what's going to be lap number 10, so extremely much later in the race. This is going to be our official hot lap for this race. I would really recommend you guys watching this hot lap, and then I'll see you guys when we get to our pit stop. Alright, fast forward now to lap 11. It's going to be our scheduled pit stop. All I'll be doing here is just simply refueling the car. Like I did mention that if you probably play your cards right and move your fuel map to maybe 3 or 4, you probably have a great chance to do this race without making a pit stop. So just a small little refuel as we cross the finish line is going to start the last lap of this race, and as we come through to finish up the race, it's going to be quite a very impressive quick run. It's going to be a 26.05, so very good fast car. Was pretty surprised how good pace this car had too. I wasn't too sure how I was going to do, but as you can see here, 26.06 was actually our total time, but really good efforts got ourselves the cleaner race bonus, and that's going to be it for race 1. For race 2, the Silva Spec R Aero, this is the stock version compared to the race car version. It's going to cost you a much cheaper 68,000 credits just to start off with the first part of the build. You can easily get this car at the showroom, so just go under Nissan and you should be able to easily find this car. Now for the next step, of course, it's going to be the parts. Starting off with sports, weight reduction stage 1, medium tires, and club sports. Basically anything you see that says installed is what you'll need for the car. Now the only thing you do not need for this particular car is on the racing category. We're going to be just racing with the regular stock brakes and the stock suspension, so pretty much ignore the rest of that stuff, and that's basically what you need for your parts. For a car customization, if you guys want this livery, just make sure to search NASCAR if you want this custom Pepsi Billion livery. If not, here are the parts I'll be showcasing on what you need, just in case if you want this to be put in your own personal car. So I saw the rims, the front bumper is type A, the side is type A as well. For the next part, it's going to be the rear bumper, again type A, and to finish off with the rear wing having that NASCAR look, it's going to be type B, and that's going to be it for the parts from car customization. Here's the build itself. Sport medium tires is the tires we're using. There's the downforce if you want to go ahead and just copy it down with ballast and power restrictor at 97. Fully customized manual transmission, there it is right there as well. And then for the bottom part of the list, it's going to be a lot more compared to the last build. As you can see, basically everything you get your hands on except for brakes, make sure they're kept normal conditions, and everything else put on the car and you should be good to go. And let's go and ask the question, is how good is this car? Well, surprisingly, this car is going to be pretty good. It's very well balanced. Medium tires are going to really come into play, especially when it comes to the handling and of how it really turns and reacts. It actually felt very balanced, especially on the controller, which I was really surprised about. Wasn't too sure if it's going to be understeer or oversteer. So, but yeah, the car did very well, despite having the average brakes as well. And for the pit strategy, we're going to also do like we did in the first run. Fuel map 1 is going to be our fuel map will be set on, but you can just tell about the car, it just really turns really good, and it just has no signs of any oversteer or understeer. It just basically glues to the racetrack, which is really good for this particular car. Now you might have to maybe worry about a little bit of a teensy bit of understeer, or the front of the car might be lifted up a little bit, maybe just by a teensy bit by how much power we got on the car. But other than that, you really shouldn't have any issues with this car. As you can see, we managed to be in the top 5. Got ourselves a great corner right there, going to pull right alongside the GTR, and the car just sticks really good. Got ourselves a good run. We're going to follow this Impreza up the hill, or try to anyway. We're going to try to make a move, but can't do it just yet. We're going to wait for another corner or two and just try and make it. As we get through this left-hander, we got ourselves a good run, good apex, but still not quite enough of a move to make until right here. Once we get to the brake, approaching brake zone, we're going to brake a little bit early, let the Impreza in front of us, and we're going to make a move on its right side, going for that hole, and it actually does work out for us nicely. Now for this particular turn, just be careful, just stay in second gear is what I recommend doing for that hairpin. It might be a little bit more of a trickier challenge than it was with the Ferrari, but other than that, the car just did really good. And just like we did the first race, we're going to find ourselves in P3. This time around, we're going to be right behind the OG Supra rather than the RX-7, which is quite unusual for this race. And first lap's going to be at 220.3. But like we did with the last run, immediately when we start lap 2, we're going to go ahead and grab P2. So once again, we're going to fast forward to again on lap 3, and just basically like it was with the Ferrari, we're going to easily get the lead away from the NSX, and from that point on we basically kept it until our pit stops. So once again, fast forward to our pit stop strategy. It's going to be at the end of lap 7, and for this particular run, what we're going to do is actually get ourselves a new set of sport mediums, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a refuel on the fuel as well. But thankfully, we were able to go a little bit past halfway, so it will confirm to do a 1 pit stop strategy. And I would recommend just change tires, not just only because we got ourselves a softer compound than usual, but because later in the second part of the stage you will burn more tire wear than you would in the first part of the stage. So as we have the pit road, we actually are going to lose the lead, but we actually did recapture it soon after and basically ran away from it again. So lap 11 is going to be our official hot lap. I would recommend you guys watch this hot lap, and I'll see you guys at the end of the race. Alright, so as we finished up the race, and it was overall a very smooth, pleasant experience for this car. It's going to be 2616, and I was really impressed of how good this car was, despite not having the ultimate wing like you might usually have in this car. So 2616 was what we did with the car. The car just did really good, felt really smooth. It just felt very, very grippy and was really good overall. And like I did mention at the beginning of the episode, if these two don't work for you for this race, then I will highly suggest trying them out in Le Mans. Got ourselves that clean race bonus like we did in the first run, and that's going to be it for the episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, why not go ahead and leave a like, and if you'd like to support the channel, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Turn on that bell on. That way you won't have to miss anything with any particular videos or post. If there's a particular build you'd like for me to try out, you're more welcome to put it in the comments below. If you would like to also join the Discord, I'll have a link at the bottom of the description as well. And mainly that could be, for support tuning. Let's say if you try my tunes and it doesn't work out on your own screen, you're more welcome to show me some pictures and I'll help you out to figure out what the problem is. That way you guys will be able to try out those two builds. But as you guys saw, we'll be using the Corvette C8 for our next run and the Lamborghini Murcielago at Tokyo Expressway. So I'm looking forward for both builds. If you guys like to check out the last episode I did cover, there it is right there. And with that being said, hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night, and take care, and I'll see you guys later.